Hi, good evening, and welcome to my daily live session on various topics from my toolkit for execution excellence. My name is Dinakar. I'm the founder of Samutana and the inventor of DoHow, a methodology for driving teams achieve challenging goals and amazing outcomes while getting the teams to acquire leadership and management skills. Leadership being all about people doing the right thing, management all about system doing the thing right. And as you are trying to achieve the goal with the management uh, concepts, one would navigate through various paths and at each stage review by doing a simple learning cycle, the PDCA cycle, to progress towards the goal. And in doing so, one would achieve the goal. And the most important thing is to pick up the right goal and inspire the people, create a shared vision, and drive excellence. And all that is about leadership. People is all about leadership. And both the skills get learned as one tries to, as one starts achieving a particular goal using our methodology called as do how. That's the core of activity which I do. And if you want to know more about what I do and what we do, please do visit our website dinakarmurthy.com. It is, or you can also write an email to me. Dinakar@samutana.com is my email. With that very brief introduction, let me directly jump into what I've been speaking. It was about delegation. This entire week is about delegation, and today's topic is to talk about the application of delegation. Before I get there, let me very briefly explain a very quick recap of what I spoke yesterday. Yesterday's topic was mainly to talk about the introduction to delegation, which I said is the most important skill for any leader or even a manager. Manager also can delegate. When I say leader, leader has to do with people. So delegation has a lot to do with leader than a manager. Manager is to make sure that he's controlling the guy who's delegated to get the right results. But leader delegates. That's the quality of a leader or the skill of a leader. So there, I said that there are totally 7 levels of delegation. Level 1 would be to just delegate to do something without really telling why it is required and ask the person to report immediately what the outcome was. And level 2 would be to delegate after delegate checking to, that you check something and then do uh, uh, before doing the activity, actually check, and in case something is not rightly put in place, then you get back and give a feedback and seek an approval. Level 3 would be to delegate even collecting of facts and information. Delegate 4. Level 4 would be to delegate even identifying the stakeholders, their needs and expectations, setting targets. Delegate level 5 would be to also plan the tasks, choose the methods. Delegates level 6 would be to make recommendations and propose decisions. And level 7 would be to delegate 100% just to get it done. That means the person takes the decision, gets it done, and reports occasionally. These are the 7 levels of delegation which I had explained yesterday. And today I would be talking about where is that you can, what should I say, apply the concept of delegation. It can be done in all the areas, wherever, whatever you're doing. It could start with the current reality, problem solving to really achieve a stable process, and more so in the mindset and culture phase where you're trying to create a new culture, change the mindset. There also delegation is something which is possible. First, let me start talking about each of these phases. In trying to establish the current reality, the most important thing there is to understand and gather the information to get the person to see, visualize what is really happening. Therefore, you're delegating somebody to collect information, to collect the current status, and that is one area where one could delegate. When it comes to problem solving, one would be delegating the various steps of problem solving as a very low level of delegation. The higher level of delegation would be to say that, look, I have a problem, you get it solved. How you do it is your problem. That's again the way a manager would speak, because it's, as an entrepreneur, it's even more serious. If you're looking at a very professionally learned multinational company, and then the expectation is that the manager guides the subordinate to do the job, whereas in an entrepreneurship run firm, it's very clear the entrepreneur recruited a manager to do the job. So he's not there to give any guidance. It's the job of the manager to find a solution and get it done. So that's a very interesting analogy which I have got in the case of a multinational company. Even if you're a president of a company, CEO of a company, you definitely need to be able to guide your next level. and then if you are a managing director of a company, again guide the next level. Whereas in private entrepreneurship venture, a family run business, or whatever you can call it as, there the MD is the owner. So he says that, look Bagar, I have basically recruited you to do the job, so don't come to me to ask as to how the job has to be done. You find a way out and get it done. So that's something which is total delegation, and that's something which is very common in such companies. And problem solving is the core where such delegation is very, very effective to really get the job done. And at the same time, this kind of a delegation is wonderful to develop the individual, to get the individual to perform better, to understand the overall context and be able to solve problems. Then comes the next level where it is stable progress, where you are really on the cruising mode. Everything is in place, and it's just a question of maybe conducting regular reviews and participate there only to be there, but everything is happening on its own. In such a environment, you would have, without knowing, delegated almost everything. That's the reason why it is in a stable process, because you have been able to develop people and then delegate them, delegate the jobs to them, tasks to them, so that they are able to perform it without much difficulty. The last one would be where you are trying to change the mindset and culture. What kind of delegation would you do that? So when you are trying to change the mindset and culture, the most important thing is to be at least at level 4, where one is trying to understand the needs and expectations of the stakeholders, and also trying to fix targets based on what the stakeholder wants. There, if you are at a lower level of delegation, let us say 3, 2, or 1, then you really won't be changing any mindset at all. It will be just getting the fellow or the lady to do the job without any interest, without any motivation, because it has to be done. And that kind of a passion will not be there. If you have to really create passion, it's important that the person understands the stakeholders. Especially, I look at the quality department. I really recollect this as a very, very interesting case. I want to talk about that a little in the next couple of minutes. So the quality guys have very, very tough time. Customer is really bombarding. In fact, we had some customers who would call us for what is called as a shop floor meeting. It was I don't know to name the customers, very, very tough ones, where our engineers would go there, and then the MD of the company would be sitting there, and these OEMs are big ones, big companies, big names in the world. So they would be calling you in front of everybody in the shop floor. It's a kind of a vendor meeting which is going to happen there, and you need to answer why some product was supplied with bad quality. And that discussion will be very, very nasty, because you are standing there in front of all their employees and as a vendor, and you are being told that what you did was wrong, and you need to really set it right. Now that is the way it goes on, these meetings. Now in those meetings, normally who would go there would be either a sales guy or a quality guy, a quality chap who's responsible for that particular customer. We would call them as key account manager, CAM, and the quality CAM, who would be the responsible for that particular customer, and he's normally a manager or a group leader for customer complaints, and he goes there and he gets bombarded left and right. And this chap is very smart, so he says that, look, I have to change the mindset of the guys in the factory, because he comes back and tells the same in the factory, and most of them won't listen at all. They said, oh, what the hell, they were just a small burr there, or they were just a small line, a crack, and that should not be a big problem for them. So they should somehow get it adjusted. So then the quality guy is very smart chap. So what he does, what he has been doing in my experience, would be to take the production guy, to take the purchasing guy along with him to that meeting. Somehow say that, look, sir, you please send me, you can get an experience, exposure. And once the production guy and the quality guy goes there and listens to the customer directly, that's where he understood what are the needs and expectations of this particular customer are. Then automatically the mindset changes. The quality guy took him there, and the production guy says, how the hell is it happening? It's not possible that our colleagues are getting bombarded like this. So he comes back to the factory and then sets things right, so that those defects would not go to the next level. So that is something which is what the mindset change is all about. And for changing the mindset, the minimum level required is to make sure that you are delegating the understanding of the needs and expectations and the stakeholders, and from there on, if you go to the higher levels, then automatically you only create magic. Because once that level is surpassed, when people are really understanding what are the expectations of the stakeholders and who the stakeholders are, automatically the outcomes would be marvelous, because everybody wants to succeed. I don't think anybody wants to fail in this entire world. And that's something which is what delegation is all about. And so you can really use it in all the areas. It's all about empowering people. It's all about progress. It's all about guiding. It's all about nudging people to do better, nudging people to take accountability. And all this happens if you are able to delegate well. That's something which is very, very important, can be done for establishing the current reality, for problem solving, for during the stable progress phase, and more so for changing the mindset and culture. Without delegation, mindset and culture will not change at all. If you are only doing go for delegations, then forget it. Forget it. Unless you are there, the show will not go on, and you will never be able to create a culture which is going to work with or without you. And you will never be able to leave behind a legacy. I remember one of the um, seniors in Bosch, when I was leaving that one particular function in Germany, he gave me a book as a present. He came to me and then gave me a gift. He said, "This is a very, very important gift, Dinakar. I want to give it to you." And that book was a set of German, what should I say, wisdom, you can say, wisdom from various quotes. It's basically a book of quotes, with a lot of quotes. And that said, one of the first thing which is said, that really, what should I say, bowled me over. He said, "Dinakar, this I am giving it to you because I believe you deserve it." And what did it say? The title of the book was, and it was a tire picture, and a tire, and you could see the tire tread left as the tire had driven, and that's the tire had rolled over, and you could see the tread of the tire on the road. And that said that you can only leave a profile, you can only leave a mark if you have a profile. If you have a profile, only then can you leave a mark. Otherwise, you can't leave a mark. And that was really phenomenal for me. You can only leave a legacy if you have something to leave. Otherwise, you can't leave a legacy. To leave a legacy, you need to really be delegating. And that's the key to really creating a culture, creating a legacy which you can be proud of. Thanks a lot for watching. For those of you in India, have a nice evening. For those of you outside India, have a great day ahead. And see you both tomorrow at 8:30. Today, I'm extremely sorry for delaying. My earlier meeting at 8 o'clock got delayed. I was running late, so everything got pushed by about 10 minutes. So I'm really sorry for that. So tomorrow I'll be on time, 8:30, and see you tomorrow. Thank you and goodbye. Good night.